Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dan Greer with Insurance Advisors Direct, and I want to make sure that you're all hearing me. So, actually, if you're hearing me, you don't need to enter anything into the chat box. So, if I don't see any messages, then I will expect that everyone is able to hear just fine, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your afternoon today to spend a few minutes with us and discuss the topic of preparing for a mandate-free 2019. These are tumultuous times we live in, aren't they? Regarding health insurance for the under 65 market. And you can actually, I'm going to suggest to you, if you get some spare time, to go ahead and Google the following: U.S. Justice Department, ACA. And you'll find some interesting articles of some recent developments here in the last week or so regarding the Affordable Care Act and what our current landscape is regarding, the tax reform bill that was passed in December, which repeals the mandate, the penalty portion of the mandate. And there's some further litigation ongoing from really both sides of the aisle. So we still have a very fluid situation with all of this, but really what it bodes for all of us in the insurance world as agents is we need to be preparing ourselves so that we can help our clients and folks out there who are struggling with affording their Affordable Care Act plans. And we have alternatives, and that's what we're going to be discussing today, so that you can be prepared, because this fall we could end up with a flood of opportunities when it comes to folks realizing that they can choose whatever type of health insurance they want for 2019 without the risk of penalty. And so that's what we're going to focus this series on is, what the current landscape is and what the future holds, not only for the prospective clients, but for you, the agent, and how to take advantage of those opportunities. So as we can see, our current Affordable Care Act, and I'm also going to basically, when I say Affordable Care Act, I'm really referring to any kind of major medical plans, whether they be short-term plans or off-marketplace, marketplace plans. Really, major medical, it's all the same for the most part. It's really a one-size-fits-all type of coverage and benefit package. Of course, the advantages of it, unlimited lifetime maximum benefits, pre-existing conditions are covered, there's no underwriting involved, they have to be accepted, and it does cover everything under the sun as well, such as labor and delivery. If Dan Greer were to go out and purchase a marketplace plan or any type of major medical, I don't have the option to pick and choose what benefits I want or need. And myself, I don't really believe I'm going to need coverage for labor and delivery. However, I would be paying for that if I go with one of these marketplace major medical type plans. And it's already expensive enough, right? So, excuse me. Mental health is another one that, it's all-inclusive plan, sort of like a Medicare Advantage plan, right? Everything under one plan. So those are some of the advantages there, and it works well for certain people, especially if they're not in as good of health or if they're able to receive the subsidy. Then this is probably a good idea. So, but what are the disadvantages? We all know that the Affordable Care Act is in its death spiral. It's on its last legs. And there's a lot of fluidity as far as what the government is doing. But, you know, you have providers not accepting it. Carriers are pulling out. There's some markets where there's either one or even zero carriers that are in the marketplace. The premiums are just becoming completely unaffordable. They typically rise between 25% to 100% every year. And you know, it's really doesn't do anything for you until you meet your unbelievably high deductible. For individuals, that's usually around $6,700. For families, it can be as high as $14,000 before the plan does anything. And in the meantime, you have to basically self-insure yourself and pay out of pocket. What's another disadvantage here? There's really no reward in this for you, the agent, for taking your time to help people get insurance, health insurance. The commissions, if you're lucky, you might get 3% or 2 or 1 or sometimes even 0. So why would you be motivated to write this kind of business? It's kind of doesn't really make a heck of a lot of sense here. And by the way, as I get ready to move to my next page here, just wanted to let everybody know that at the end, when this session concludes, we will have it available as a recording. If you'd like to have access to that, you'll have my contact information at the end. So be sure to send me an email if you'd like to request a copy of this. And we'll have it available on our YouTube channel as well. So, all right. So moving right along, what is our responsibility as an agent? What's our opportunity as an agent? You know, we want to help our clients. I guess in my mind, this little, I call it my mission in life, shall I choose to accept it, is to help people get the most insurance they can for the least amount of money and keep as much money in their pocket as possible by avoiding surprise medical bills, right? So you can see my list there. Of course, we want to help them save money on their premiums, save money on their out-of-pocket costs. How about giving them access to their benefits sooner rather than later without having to meet these unbelievably high deductibles? And what happens with those folks? Let's say you sprain your ankle and your deductible is $6,750. Are you going to have a benefit if you go get physical therapy on that ankle? No, you're going to have to pay for it yourself. And so what are you going to do? You're probably not going to go and get the care that you need, and you're going to be limping around on a bum ankle. Hopefully we could be able to solve that problem and help people feel better and be maybe even a little more productive as citizens. How about year-round enrollment? What if somebody loses their employer coverage? What are they going to do? Well, of course, they lose employer coverage right now. They would still have an enrollment period through the marketplace. But what happens if they're late on their premium and their coverage gets canceled? Many times, they're not going to have an enrollment period, and they're going to be left with no insurance. How about all these network requirements? Wouldn't that be nice to be able to not have to deal with that? Let's talk a little bit about healthcare statistics. I want to draw your attention here to the top of the list here. Only 2 people out of 1,000 ever need more than $1 million for healthcare expenditures during their lifetime. 2 people out of 1,000. I want you to remember that. 57% of the U.S. population spent less than $200 out of pocket in 2014, and 73% spent less than $500. I think this statistic here kind of lends itself back to the whole thought process of, well, we have our deductibles are so high that we're not getting the care that we need. But that does say also that most people are in good health. If you look down at the bottom, in 2015, 88% of the population reported being in good, very good, or excellent health. So we're mostly a healthy society. It's only 5% of our population, the most frail and ill among us, that account for actually over half of the healthcare spending for 2015. You can see that. And so we're going to start getting into here our limited medical plans that we are offering that are alternatives to major medical. Most of these plans are designed with healthy folks in mind. And feel free, if you want to enter any questions into the chat box as I'm going along here. I'd be happy to answer those, and when we get towards the end especially, okay? All right, so yeah, not everybody in America needs or wants a high-cost, full coverage, Affordable Care Act plan or major medical plan. No, I'm sure many of you out there have heard of folks that come across your path in your business complaining about how much their health care costs, or that their deductible's too high, or that maybe they lost their coverage and don't have a special enrollment period to be able to get back in. But also, it's very expensive and not everybody can afford this stuff. So I just want to really help you get yourself equipped. And here's how we're going to do it. We offer 4 main limited medical plans. That's basically the industry term for hospital indemnity fixed benefit health insurance plans. And this is kind of going back to the way health insurance used to be 20 years ago. In society, we've become conditioned to these major medical plans. Being human, we like the path of least resistance. We like to go get our care, let the provider and the insurance carrier hash it out and send me a bill for my copay or deductible. And we don't like to mess around and wait on hold for 15 minutes trying to settle something with the insurance company. Unfortunately, we've become conditioned to these types of plans. So this is sort of a paradigm shift that we're going to be experiencing here. We can actually begin converting folks at this time over to these limited medical plans because we do have a component that can meet the ACA mandate for the rest of this year. All right, 30 to 60% savings on premiums compared to ACA plans. Benefits that can be utilized immediately because of low to no deductibles. There's no network requirements with these plans. They can see any provider that they want, and their benefit remains fixed. However, all 4 of our plans do use the multi-plan PHCS PPO network, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, in the country. Year-round enrollment, there are no enrollment periods for these plans, and your compensation is going to be dramatically higher. Most of the plans start off with a hospital indemnity as the basis of the plan that gives you your main routine type benefits for hospital admission, daily outpatient visits, surgeries, and so forth. But then we stack benefits, optional add-on policies to go along with. But the base of the plan, you're going to see anywhere between 17% to 25% commissions, so that you'll be rewarded for spending your time. So what kind of plans are we talking about? We have our four main ones are from Philadelphia American, Manhattan Life, IHC, and FlexNet. Those are our four main hospital indemnity fixed benefit plans. And why do we offer four? Because these are not one-size-fits-all types of plans. There's different needs, wants, and budgets out there. So we want to fully equip you with the proper tools in your tool belt to meet the needs. You can see there underwriting ranges from full underwriting with Philadelphia American, and then we have simplified underwriting with Manhattan Life and IHC, and we actually have a guaranteed issue plan, FlexNet. It's guaranteed issue, no pre-existing conditions clause. Anybody can get it, so it doesn't matter what kind of health conditions they may have going on currently. They can enroll in the plan and receive benefits right away. That plan, by the way, has the strongest prescription benefits out of all four of those. So again, we do have different wants, needs, and budgets, and that's why we offer the four different plans. I think at this point, just in wrapping up here, again, what we like to do is when we're trying to convert folks from major medical, we always want to recommend to them a complete package of benefits. And sometimes that may require having 2 or 3, maybe even 4 different carriers involved in offering that complete package of benefits, rather than the one major medical plan, the one size fits all, covers everything under the sun kind of theory. We might need to stack benefits and mix and match some policies from some different carriers in order to complete the package. I think as we move along in our series, you're going to see, we're going to drill down on, how do we assess the wants, needs, and budgets of the clients. We're going to be drilling down on each individual carrier and their set of products. So we hope that you'll be able to join us again next week, same time, same bat channel, if you will. And Christy Strauss is my colleague, and we'll be sort of taking turns at the plate here and taking a swing at some of these different issues. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Maybe you have clients that were in your office earlier today or this week that said, I need help with health care. I can't afford my health insurance. Let us know. Give us a call. Send us an email, and we'll do our best to try to help you out with this area. And we just really want to encourage you to try and get yourself prepared for, particularly by this fall, because it could be a madhouse. It'd be better for you as an agent to get this stuff under your belt, get your feet underneath of you before fall comes, so that you can start helping people now. We'll be happy to do that with you. Is there any questions? I'm not seeing any questions coming through. on the chat box, but I'll give a moment here to wait and see if anyone does. And again, I want to thank you for joining us, and we look forward to these coming weeks as we're going to be sharing more and more. Appreciate your time this afternoon. With that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. I don't see any other questions coming through. Again, if you'd like a copy of this, send us an email and we'll be happy to get that out to you. And thank you again. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy your day.